What's up, humans, and welcome to a new Psicoactivo. Happy Monday, everybody. I hope everybody's doing okay. Okay, so I'm back. I took a couple of days off because I was with the wife. But yeah, we are back for the last week of May, and there's a lot of things happening. But last week, my friends, Toby Martinez and Mr. John Burroughs, finally let the people know what they're going to be doing over the next 6 months. If you guys know about John Burroughs, he is one of the military people who were at Rendlesham when the Rendlesham Forest incident took place. He received an injury from the encounter he had, and he is the only person who has a disability where it says on text that he got that injury from a UAP. The late Senator John McCain was the one who signed that disability, and he fought for it for years. When he finally got it, a lot of the people involved in the UFO disclosure movement, journalists, scientists, have tried to get that document because that document is, in a sense, disclosure. It's the American government accepting officially on paper that a service person or a military personnel was injured by a UAP. So my friend Toby Martinez has been on John's side for a while. They've been working together. And when I interviewed John, they did tell me that something was coming this year that we needed to be aware of. And that something is finally here. And it's not just one thing, it's three books and I think a documentary. Then there's also an op ed that John Burroughs just wrote that I'm going to read to you guys. But we're going to start with how the rollout is going to be with Toby and John. So I'm going to show it to you guys right here. It says the Rendlesham Revelation series has begun. What if Rendlesham wasn't just about aliens but weapons? What if the real battlefield was your mind? This trilogy is not about the past, it's about the next stage of warfare, disclosure, and consciousness, and how Rendlesham was the moment we stepped through the threshold. They offer the first comprehensive model of UAP human interface as a weapon system, combining testimony, technical data, and psychological aftermath. Why it matters? It reframes the entire UAP debate, from extraterrestrial visitation to interactive energetic phenomena coexisting with human consciousness and technology. The Rendlesham event becomes the first clear interface, not merely a sighting. Book one is going to be called Signals from the Threshold, which is already online for purchase. I'm going to leave the link in the description. The Hidden Race for UAP Technology, where Cold War radar meets consciousness. Book two is going to be titled Weaponization of the Phenomenon. The Rendlesham Convergence, Plasma, Perception, and Psychotronic Warfare. Book three is going to be called Signal Wars, From the Forest Floor to Classified Corridors. This wasn't a sighting, it was a test. This trilogy is not about the past, it's about the next stage of warfare, disclosure, and consciousness, and how Rendlesham was the moment we stepped through the threshold. Read the trilogy that reveals how the greatest cover up in modern history was never about what we saw, but it was about what it made us believe. This is number two, and the book's cover. Toby says, I'm excited to announce a new promotion provided by Global Radio Live, meaning KGRA, which is where Psicoactivo is also part of. The first 100 people to enter their name and email on this contest page will get a free Kindle copy of our upcoming book, Signals from the Threshold. It is book one in the Rendlesham Revelation series, and it's out Monday. So it's out. This is a video that Toby put together to announce this. The truth isn't coming, it's here. From Roswell to Rendlesham, from the USS Nimitz to Havana Syndrome, from radar pings to consciousness warfare, Signals from the Threshold is the groundbreaking new book that exposes declassified crash retrievals, DARPA neural weapon programs, reverse engineered UAP tech, the global race to master the phenomenon. This isn't about aliens, it's about how reality is being rewritten. And who's doing the rewriting? Are you ready to cross the threshold? and then the pre-orders. But I'm gonna play you this.
North. Okay, here he comes from the south. He's coming toward us now. Now we're observing what appears to be a beam coming down to the ground. This is unreal. 330, and the objects are still in the sky, although the one to the south looks like it's losing a little bit of altitude. We're turning around and heading back toward the base. The object to the south is still beaming down lights to the ground.
And then Toby revealed who the co-author of his book is, and it's none other than John Burroughs himself. So he says, breaking, a surprise announcement, the identity of my co-author is now revealed, John Burroughs, retired U.S. Air Force Technical Sergeant. Also, a new release date for the book. That sigh was from John. If you guys don't recognize it, that was funny. Thank you, Toby, for that. But the final part I'm going to show to you guys is going to be the op-ed from John Burroughs on the Roswell Daily Record. This was on May 25th. It was released, which was yesterday. I got to read this to you guys because I think it's really important because we're dealing with something that people don't often talk about. And I've already spoken to a couple of veterans who have had encounters with UAP and have suffered injuries. And the people that are reporting on this, the biggest names you can think of, I'm not going to name anybody because I don't think it's worth it. They haven't been reporting what's actually been going on. They've been reporting what's best for their channels and the narrative that they want to push, but they haven't been honest, and that's the truth. So one of the biggest issues here, and an issue that very few people want to talk about, is the effects that having contact with the UAP have on human beings. And they're much more complex than just an injury. And that is something that I think we are going to explore with John Burroughs over the next 6 months, and also with Toby Martinez, who's the man behind the pen, writing all of this and documenting all of this from his journalistic background. And he's been helping John along the way. But John did write this op ed that I think you guys should listen to, and I'm just going to read it to you guys. So it goes like this: UAP injuries are real. Veterans are being ignored. Congress can't keep hiding behind classified doors. For decades, the US government has quietly acknowledged presence of unidentified aerial phenomena. Objects in our skies can defy known propulsion, maneuvering, or explanation. These aren't sci-fi fantasies, they're real. The Pentagon admits it. Congress has held hearings on it. Entire offices like the All Domain Anomaly Resolution Office have been created to investigate them. But while lawmakers debate how much to reveal, veterans like me, those who've come into close contact with these phenomena, are living with the consequences. Some of us are physically damaged, others psychologically scarred. Many have been left in the cold, untreated, disbelieved, or worse, silenced. I was fortunate. I had the support of my senators and ultimately received help, but countless others have not. Their stories are buried under the red tape, their injuries unacknowledged, their futures discarded in the name of national security. And Congress, by hiding behind classified briefings, is complicit in that neglect. This is not a conspiracy theory, it's documented pattern. Consider this: between 1962 and 1973, US Navy sailors were unknowingly exposed to biological and chemical agents under Project SHAD. From 1955 to 1975, soldiers at Edgewood Arsenal were dosed with LSD and sarin to test psychological and incapacitating weapons. Hundreds of thousands of atomic veterans were placed near nuclear detonations with little to no protection. None of these programs were admitted until decades later, and only after countless lives were altered or lost. Now, in 2025, we face the same institutional cowardice. Military personnel who have encountered UAP symptoms eerily similar to those earlier victims: neurological damage, immune system issues, even radiation like burns. In 2005, a leaked Defense Intelligence Agency report confirmed that exposure to UAPs can cause brain injuries and biological disruption. Still, there's no system in place to treat or even recognize those affected. Congress continues to dodge its duty. Lawmakers publicly posture, but when it's time to act, time to vote for funding, transparency, medical support, they retreat into the closed door briefings and point to classified material they won't challenge. Meanwhile, billions of dollars are funneled into special access programs hidden from even congressional oversight. Where that money goes and what technologies it funds remains shielded from the very representatives we elect to hold the system accountable. We don't need more mystery, we need responsibility. We need an independent audit of UAP related SAPs. We need fully medical transparency for service members exposed during the encounters. We need a secure, protected path for those still serving to reporting symptoms without risking their careers or clearance. And yes, we need the media to stop treating UAPs like entertainment and start investigating the human cost of contact. This is bigger than disclosure, it's about justice. For every veteran suffering in silence, for every whistleblower buried in bureaucracy, and for every American who believes service should be honored, not erased, it is time for Congress to step up, stop hiding, and do its job. Because secrecy is no excuse for neglect. That's John, and he's right. And it's funny that I'm reading this on Memorial Day because there's been stories of some servicemen who did not make it. And that's the big secret, right? That's what people don't want to talk about, those effects. And John is very brave to come out and talk about this alongside Toby. And I'm going to be right there for it. And I'm going to be supporting them the entire way. And I think that people need to support them too. So I'm going to leave links in the description for everything. And just think about what John said and think about what's coming because there's a lot of the UFO heroes that people regard that are not going to be well placed after this comes out. A lot of their lies and their unprofessionalism is going to be exposed. And I think it's about time it happens. But yeah, you guys have my full support, John and Toby. I hope we can talk soon about this on the show. I'm going to try to get you guys on the show. But until then, I'm just going to ask you to let me know what you think in the comments about what I just showed you, about what's coming. I'm also going to leave the interview with John in the description on Psicoactivo so you can hear from him how angry he is and how disappointed he is at everything that's going on right now, all the posturing that he mentions. And it's pretty eye opening. So let me know what you think in the comments. If you like the content you see, I'm going to ask you to like, share, comment, subscribe, hit the bell icon so you get notified when a new video drops. That doesn't cost you anything, it just takes a few seconds, and it is what helps the channel the most. So thank you. But if you want to support the channel in any other way, I'm going to leave a few links in the description. You can also become a member, or you can also support us through KGRA. That'd be really cool too. But that's it for me today on this video. But I'll see you guys in the next one. And remember, stay curious and inquisitive, just like John, just like Toby. Bye.